talk. Pink polos, I hurt the ride before Cam got the shit to pop. The doors closed. I felt like bad boy.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we're going to be doing an install on this gorgeous hair from westkisshair. This is a 13x4 lace frontal, and this is 250% density, and this is 30 inches long. And I absolutely love this install. I love this wig. The hair is absolutely gorgeous. You guys know I love my inches, but this is the perfect length for the spring/summertime, especially if you're going on any type of vacation or anything like that. Today, I only used water in the hair because I wanted to see just the natural vibe of it. I wanted the hair to be nice and soft. I didn't want it to be crunchy, so no product whatsoever in this hair, just water. So if you want to see how I achieved this, stay tuned. So this is the wig. I did do a little bit of plucking, okay? I'm not the plucking queen. I'm trying to get better at doing my wigs, making them look the way that I like them to look personally. So this is just me showing you what the wig looked like after plucking a tiny bit. But then I did go back in and pluck a little bit more just to be, you know, on the safe side. And I'm still learning. I don't really know the ins and outs of plucking. I'm terrified of plucking, but I did go in and kind of spray the hair with some water. And then I took my tweezers and I just kind of plucked it, just eyeballing it. I didn't do too much in one area because I know for a fact that I would have plucked way too much and it would have been a bald spot. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in and pluck some and leave some areas with a little bit of space so it can have like that natural look, sort of, kinda. I just don't want my front to be super dense because my wigs can be a little dense sometimes because I don't pluck. So I want to get into plucking and just making the wig look as decent as it can for my skill level. So here is the wig, and I did have to comb it out because obviously I did pluck. So that's why some of the hair is combed out and some of it's a little defined, but this is what the wig looks like. I just wanted to show you basically its natural state before any defining or anything like that. And the hair is super fluffy, super soft, absolutely gorgeous. If I could wear my hair like this, I would, but I'm just someone who doesn't really do well with like super big hair because it's just a lot. But this would be such a look if you just combed it out and wore it like this. Of course, add some shape to it, but definitely giving like Erykah Badu vibes, you know. This will be a look, but it's a little too hot right now for all this hair to be out like this. So of course I'm gonna go in and define it, but I'm just showing you the texture of the hair. It just has a lot of body and it has a lot of life and it's absolutely gorgeous. No color. This is the natural color of the hair fresh out of the box. I love it, y'all. Y'all know I always dye my hair jet black, but this one I didn't. So here I'm going in to cut off the ear tabs. And this is also something that I'm trying to get better at. I am still learning. I want to keep doing these hair videos because I want to keep perfecting how I like to install my wigs. I know a lot of people leave like comments about, oh, you should try this, you should try this. And I do want to try out different things, but I don't know, I just get so comfortable doing what I know. Like for this, for example, a lot of people say, oh, it's better to spray it under the lace, which I probably should be spraying it under the lace, but something in me just is so used to doing it this way that I feel like I'm gonna mess up if I do it any other way. But I do plan to try out putting it underneath the lace the next time around, so yeah. But here I'm just taking that even hairspray like I always do and spraying it right at the hairline, right in the front. And here I'm just pressing it in with the comb. I'm not trying to get it like super adhered. I'm just trying to get it flat so that I can go ahead and put on my elastic band, let it melt and do its thing. Typically I put the spray on and then I immediately put the band on, but sometimes all the areas are not flat. So I wanted to make sure that they were before I put the elastic band on, which is why I'm pressing it in with the comb first. And then I'm gonna go on with another coat of the spray and I'm going to put on the band and just let it sit and do what it has to do underneath there so I can make sure that it is actually laying down every single piece of the lace. So after this, I'm pretty much going to just let it sit for a little bit And y'all, I'm gonna get back into my closure wigs because I cannot with these frontals anymore. I am honestly over it. I am completely over it. So I need to get back into my closures. I'm gonna have some closure installs coming up really soon because I am just over the frontals. And I like to wear closure wigs in the summertime because it's like a lot less to deal with. You don't have to worry about your whole front sliding back if you just wet out your wig or something like that. So yeah. And I did some cooking. I did a couple of things, honestly. So I was gone for about maybe like 30 minutes. So here I'm just combing out the hairspray because obviously it's gonna get a little crusty under the elastic band. So you wanna make sure you comb that out. And then you wanna go in and cut off the excess lace. And I was gonna use a eyebrow razor, but y'all, every time I use one of those, I cut my forehead. Y'all see that mark on my forehead? That's from a freaking eyebrow razor. So I stick with my little eyebrow scissors because I'm scared of them little eyebrow razors because I always cut myself. So yeah, use whatever you know, if you want to do it in jagged motions, you can definitely do that as well. But I stay away from the eyebrow razors because I always cut myself. So here I am just going in because I want to do a middle part. I always do a middle part. I feel like side parts make me look so weird. And it's just one of those things that I only do if I'm wearing like a swoop. But I'm doing a middle part, and here I am going in and just making sure my part is nice and straight. And then I'm gonna pin one side back, and then I'm just gonna go in with my hot comb and flatten one of the sides and make sure she is nice and laid, okay? Super laid. So I did have a little wax stick right in front of me, so I went in and just kind of tamed those little flyaways. You could use hairspray, you could use water. You don't even have to tame them if you don't want to, but I just feel like it makes it look a little bit more professionally done when it's nice and sleek. So I just go in with that wax stick again and just make sure it's nice and flat. And then I'm gonna go in and fix this part because I did not do the bald cap method because I never do. I just personally don't have the patience. So I'm going in with some concealer to clean up this part and just fix it up a little bit. And then I'm also gonna go in with some, I think it was eyeliner that I used, but you can use mascara or anything that matches the hair to fix up the sides of the part so it doesn't look like it's like bleeding through, if that makes sense. So here I'm going in to do the baby hairs, and this is always the part for me that is like hit or miss. I try different things every time I do it, and I personally haven't figured out exactly how I like my baby hairs to be, but it all comes with time, okay? The more that I do these, the more that I'm going to find my style and my go-to install preference, if that makes sense. So for me, I really do like dramatic baby hairs, but sometimes I don't want it to be too much. And I think this is one of those times where I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do too much, but I still want it to be effective, if that makes sense. So this is probably one of my least dramatic. I typically like to do like the little swirlies and all that extra stuff, but this time around I was like, no, we're not doing all that. So I'm just parting out the hair, and I really went in on the plucking in my temple area because I'm trying to get better at mimicking my natural hairline when it comes to my wigs. So for me personally, my temples are very sparse with hair, as you guys have seen in the past. So my temples kind of go back a little bit and the hair there is a lot thinner. So I'm gonna start to try to mimic that with my wigs and give that same look so that it mimics my natural hairline. And here I'm just cutting down the edges a little bit because it's just a lot of hair to work with, and I wanna cut it down. And then I'm gonna go in with the 1/2 inch flat iron per usual to curl up the baby hairs to make them easier to swoop. And I did struggle a little bit with these baby hairs because I actually cut them too short initially. So that was kind of a bummer, but everything's about finesse. Okay, you gotta work with what you got. So here I am just making it work and just kind of like swooping them to my liking and just fixing them up. Something was off today with the baby hairs, but it ended up turning out really cute in the end, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I'm just taking my Erica J styling mousse, and this is what I use to mold down my baby hairs. And you could even use this mousse to adhere your wigs because it turns into like this sticky consistency, which allows your wigs to like literally stick to your head. So sometimes I use this to lay my wigs, but As you guys seen earlier, I use the Even spray, and then I'll go in with this afterward to kind of make it really, really stay. After I finish the baby hairs, I put my elastic band back on, and here I'm literally just going in with some warm water and just finger combing it through the hair. And then I'm gonna take my Denman brush and I'm going to really, really detangle the hair, make sure all of the tangles are out, all of the knots are out, and just continue to spray that hair until it is practically dripping wet. You might want to use a towel, but I didn't have one, so I was like, I'm not getting up to go get one. So here I'm just spraying it from the root all the way to the ends. And as you can see, the hair is just forming so beautifully. The curl pattern is absolutely gorgeous. This is the perfect hair for the spring, especially for a vacation when it gets wet. Sis is gonna look amazing. Like, this hair is so gorgeous. I didn't have any issues with shedding, tangling, anything like that with this being curly hair. I am always very weary of that, but this hair was absolutely amazing to work with. Like, so nice. And here I'm just making sure the ends are nice and curly, and this is the before and after. So this is what the hair looks like after everything is nice and curled and air dried. I think this is like 85% dry at this point, maybe even 90%. And as you can see, using just water, the hair is super bouncy, super defined. I love it. The key is to not touch it while it's drying if you don't want it to get super frizzy. If you want to add some like BioSilk or some type of sheen to it, you definitely could, but this is literally just using strictly water. So I'm gonna continue to use just water instead of using mousse and styling foam, because sometimes it can get a little crunchy and the hair is kind of like way down and lifeless and not super bouncy. So that's a tip there if you want to keep the hair nice and fluffy. Of course, if you go out in public and stuff like that, it might get a little frizzy. So I would definitely recommend using maybe some BioSilk, and that will help tame any of the frizz or any of the weather conditions that you can't control, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is what the hair looks like. Like I said, this hair is from westkisshair. This is a 13x4 frontal, 250% density, and this is 30 inches. And here I was like, oh, this would be really cute if I like pinned it back. No, maybe. Yeah, it'd be cute if you pinned it back. If you don't want the hair to be in your face, you can definitely pin it back. But this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely let me know if you are going to be rocking some curly hair for the spring/summer. All of the details will be listed down below, and I will see you all in my next one.
Before Cam got the shit to pop, the doors closed. I felt like Bad Boy Street.